Hello everyone, I have done 2 hard challenges back to back, so let's follow it up with an easier one. I always found the fossil Pokemon to be such good designs, so let's do a Cranidos line challenge. Cranidos and Rampardos don't have the greatest typing, being pure rock type, and they're quite unique in terms of spread. You see, most rock types have great defense stat, poor special defense stat, poor speed, good attack stat, and poor special attack stat. But they don't. They have a great attack stat with 125 for Cranidos and 165 for Rampardos, but their defensive stats are pretty bad, and they do have only 58 in speed. So I will be dealing with a glass cannon. Regarding the differences between Cranidos and Rampardos, we get plus 40 attack, plus 20 in defenses, and plus 30 HP. Consider it a weak typing, the extra ball will be fantastic. Lancet wise, it's pretty limited. We get headbutt straight away. I get pursuit at level 10, which should be good for Fantina. I do get takedown at level 15, but I don't know if it's a good idea to use it. Lastly, we get an headbutt for coverage and head smash, but 80% accuracy and a massive recall might be too big of a trade-off. TM wise, it's absolutely incredible. I had no idea he can get the Bolt Beam combo. Not that I will use it, mind you. He has access to Toxic, Protect, Earthquake, Dig, Break Break, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Salt Stance, to name a few, so we are covered with coverage access. Plus, with our monstrous attack stat, one Salt Stance should be more than enough to KO practically anything. Only caveat is that all the stab move I get I have 80 or 90% accuracy, so I already know I will lose a few attempts to that. Well, I can't complain too much considering the stat. Now, as always, I have a few rules. No items in battle, no EV training, only EV from trainers, and I can only use Cranidos or Rampardos, although I will need ancient mons to clear the game. Quick disclaimer, I use speed up and rare candy for the sake of time and to skip some EV points. Speaking of points, I rate my challenge with my own system. If I can beat the game at level 100, then I do. If I use G-Strat, the challenge is failed. Rival battles give 1 point if I can win on the first try. Mother's fight in the Windworks is counted as a rival battle. Official league challenges battles give 3 points if I win on the first try, 2 points if I can beat it without leveling up, 1 point if I can beat it within 4 doubles of my first attempt. The last hour's fight is also counted as an official battle. With this rule, there are 49 obtainable points. Once again, I'm writing the script as I go, so let me know how many points you think I can get. Without further ado, let's get to it. Funnily enough, every starter are good against Rampardos, so I replaced Chimchar so that my rival gets Piplup since I haven't done that version of him yet. And the first fight goes incredibly well since with 2 headbutts I can get the KO and the win. Yeah, at level 5 having 70 base power move is unfair. Once in Jubilife, I did the usual stuff like getting coupons in a weird order, beating the trainer school, and then I have a rival fight to do before Rogue. He did Starly and he goes for 3 growls while I hit headbutts until I KO. Piplup is next, I set up Focus Energy, hoping for crit and he goes for growl. I then land a critical headbutt as he goes for another growl, I go for a headbutt and he goes for pound. And one more critical headbutt gets me the KO and the win. Growl spam is a bit annoying but nothing too scary. Broke is next and I might have a problem. My only attacking moves are Headbutt and Pursuit, which are terrible against rock types. I do have a possible solution with Rock Smash, but if I do that, I'll lock one of my moves until I get to Canalave, and I kinda want to avoid that if possible. Unfortunately, I need it. Even with Focus Energy and Pursuit, I can't win. I try and level up to level 14, but it's not possible, and I want at least 1 point for this fight since I have a way, and thus I teach Rock Smash, and even then, it takes a few tries until I get the winning fight. If it's Geodude, I go for Focus Energy while he sets Stealth Rock. I then go for Rock Smash and retaliate with a Rock Throw. One more Rock Smash gets a KO thanks to the defense drop. Onyx follows, I land a critical Rock Smash and get the defense drop as well. And he lands Rock Throw. He heals up and I go for Rock Smash and one more gets the KO. Last is 8 and I only mirror match Cranidos. He is faster and lands a Pursuit and I retaliate with Rock Smash getting the defense drop. He lands another Pursuit leaving me with 2 HP, but one last critical Rock Smash is enough to get the KO and the win. Well, Focus Energy is better than I thought. I hope that Rock Smash won't be much of a drag until I can remove it, since 40 base power is way too low to be useful. On a side note, I have a quirky nature which is neutral, and that's not great. You see, for anyone who wants to do any kind of Pokemon challenges, neutral nature means that you can't specialize in anything. Like even quote-unquote bad natures are usable in one way or another, but neutral means you're missing out on 10% growth in a stat which can make a big difference, like you can see in my Cocoon channel. Now for the Windworks. Since I have a literal battering ram of a Pokemon, I break the wall down and go straight for Mars, and I happen to lose my first attempt. You see, Perugly hits really hard, and Fake Out post-fate attack is enough to put me at 6 HP and KO me on the next turn. But I believe I can win if I go in with a berry and get some better rolls. So on the third try, I managed to win. She is too bad. I go for Headbutt headbutt and she misses toxic. One more headbutt is enough to KO. Last is Ugly, which goes for a fake out. She goes for a feint attack and I retaliate with a rock smash. She goes for another feint attack and I land another rock smash. We both use our berry and our feint attack leaves me with 1 HP, which is enough to go for a last rock smash and get the KO. Close fight. Rock smash ain't so bad after all. No for Eternal City and Gardenia. I don't have to tell you, but it's gonna be hard. And it is. Her team is faster than me and touching setting screens doesn't help. So I have to level up, and while trying to win without passing level 25 so I can get another point, I try and use return, which does less damage than headbutt at this point. And I mentioned that because I misclicked and saved locking myself into it. So I have no chance but to level up to level 30 and evolve. Now that I have some extra stat, I get this fight. She is Startwig and 1 return is enough to KO. Cherry is next, I go for a return, barely missing the KO, and she goes for a safeguard. Gardenia heals, but 1 more return gets the KO. Last is Rose Raid. She's faster and lands a strong grass knot, but 1 last return gets me the KO and the win. Oh yeah, my misplay made this fight way too anticlimactic. But I finally get a hard Gardenia fight, so that's something, right? Now that my battering ram evolved into a literal bulldozer, a few trees and a reinforced steel wall is nothing. So I go into the galactic base, stomping everyone until I go to Jupiter, which falls to a return, and thus save the Pokemon's held captive. My bravery with me a bike and a fast journey to Hearthstone. Once there, Fontina's 3rd gym is in my sight. I don't anticipate any kind of problems. Our Pokemon are very frail and I have Assurance, which isn't all that powerful on its own, but backed up by a whooping 120 attack, it out to do some serious damage. And I lost. Full time? The reason? Well, it's simple. I miss my girls and harder or faster, and I have Confuse Ray and Hypnosis, so I lost to Bad Confusion a lot. But as I like to say, 5th time the charm. She is Star Skull, which falls to an Assurance. Ice Miss Magus is next. She's faster and lands a Confuse Ray, which makes me hit myself. She then lands a Magical Leaf, but I managed to hit an Assurance for the KO. Last is Hunter and is also faster and connect with Hypnosis. I sleep for 4 turns, taking Sucker Punches and the Shadow Claw, but the second Shadow Claw crits and leaves me with 3 HP, waking me up and allowing me to go for Assurance for the KO and the win. The axe was annoying, especially the Hypnosis. I mean, it has 60% accuracy. Onto the rival fight. And it's an easy first try. He leads Staravia and 1 ancient power is enough to KO. His ace Primplop is next and I land a return and he returned with a bubble beam. I can then KO with another return. Orozolia follows and 1 return gets the KO. Last is Ponyta, which also followed 2 in single return. Well, I was surprised his Primplop level return, and the damage he did wasn't half bad, so I believe he will become a problem in the next fights. After reaching Veilstone, I stopped to get Soul Stance from the game corner, but I don't think I will need it for mailing since I can deal with our team with 1 move each. Although Lucario might not fall to Rock Smash. Shame that I can't remove it and get Brick Break instead. And I lost. It's super close, but unfortunately our Lucario needs to Rock Smash to KO and I can't take 2 of his moves. So I have 2 choices. Go and get Brick Break or learn Soul Stance. Since Soul Stance is better for the next fight as well, I decided to learn it and it's winnable. I do lose a few tries due to max rolls and paralysis from Lucario, but I eventually get it. She needs Meditite, I set up Soul Stance and she lands a Rock 2. She can then outspeed and land a Drain Punch, but she falls to a return. Next is Machop. I'm still faster and connect with a Zen Headbutt for the KO. Last is our ace Lucario. She lands a Drain Punch, but I survived with 2 HP and KO with Rock Smash. Berries are so good. Without it, I would have lost, and the low damage roll helped since according to my calculation, it was a 50-50 chance. Now, for Bustaria in the rival fight. It's probably going to be fine since Staravia is going to set up a Soul Stance and the rest of his team shouldn't be able to tank my return. And sure enough, he leads Staravia, I go for Soul Stance and he uses double team and 1 return is enough to OKO. His Ice Primplop falls to a return, as do Rosalia and Ponyta. Well, easy peasy. On to Crash Awake. I'm quite worried. I know OKOing Gyarados without Soul Dance is impossible, so I will take 2 moves at least. The question is, will I be healthy enough to survive an Aqua Jet? On the first try, I misclick return instead of Soul Dance, and Gyarados survives to return, so I lose there. Mistake happened, but I get it on second attempt. He leads Gyarados, I set up Soul Dance, and he hits a strong Waterfall. I can then KO with return. Quagsire is next, and Wajizal also get the KO. Last is his Ice Slot Soul. He's faster and hits a Brine, leaving me with 11 HP, but a single return KO. That is a close one. Citrus Berry coming in clutch there. And I have to deliver an old jump, whatever that is, to Celestic Town and face Cyrus. I usually cover this fight, but it's a sweep. I set up 1 Soul Stance and 1 return is enough to KO all of his Pokemon, so I can head to Cadalade. On the way there, I take the time to pick up Earthquake. It's technically available right after the second batch, but I thought that it would be too strong to have such a good move that early. So after a quick stop to the move deleter, I get Earthquake. With that, all preparation for my rival and Byron's already. You see, I don't think my rival can withstand the Soul Stance powered return or for Earthquake. Time to test it. He leads Staraptor, he goes for a double team and I go for a Soul Stance. He then go for another double team but I connect with Return for the KO. Next is the Empoleon and an Earthquake is enough to KO. Heracross follows and falls to Return. Roserade takes the stage. She set up a Toxic Spike and I KO with Return. Last is Rapidash, he outspeed and lands a Tail Whip while I KO with Earthquake. I just realized that I should have made him get Torturer instead of Empoleon, since that way I wouldn't have had access to a super effective move against him. Oh well, what's done is done. On to Byron then. I really don't think it will be hard, one Swords and a spam of Earthquake should suffice. And it does. He needs Magneton, I go for a Soul Stance and he lands a Metal Sand. I can then KO with Earthquake. Tidix follows and falls to an Earthquake. Last is Ace Bastardon, which also falls to Earthquake. Sweet sweep if I do say so myself. After a nice cup of tea with the Professor, I'm dispatched should stop Spacemen armed with Massive Bomb and instantly beat them with a combination of Soul Stance and Return. Honestly, I never understood why they used the bomb for like Valor and not the other ones. But anyways, on to Snowpoint City, Candice awaits. I believe it's gonna be a fairly easy fight. The only thing that could go wrong is if Abomasnow survives the return or if Frostlass can OKO with Blizzard. Let's start the fight then, shall I? She leads Sneasel, she goes for a feint attack and I set up Storm Stance. She does a critical feint attack but I retaliate with Earthquake, getting the KO. Next is Paloswine and one Earthquake gets the KO. Her Ace Abomasnow follows and falls to a single return. Last is Frostlass, she's faster and Little Blizzard and I KO with Earthquake for the win. Frostlass was far from KOing me. A crit will have, but I still healed a lot with my berry so it was probably fine. Now for the Galactic Whooping. I have no problem with Styrus fight in the Galactic HQ, it's not even worth going into. So to speed parallel we go and into the Distortion World for the last Cyrus fight. Again, it's gonna be easy as long as I don't get burned. He leads down Doom, I set up a Soul Stance and he goes for Dark Blows. I can then KO with an Earthquake. Gyarados is next and forced to return. His H3 while follows, he lands a Faker and an Ice Punch before falling to an Earthquake. Unscroll takes his place and forced to return. Last is Crowback, he lands a Air Slash which flinches me. He then connects with Confuse Ray but I KO him with the return for the win. That went great, but Giratina is still there and after talking for a bit over some delicious tea and biscuits, I can go back to the well with no problem. I go reassure the Professor, always found it weird that we go to the Professor and not our mother, and then dash to beat Wagner. Then it's gonna be easy. And he is. He is Jolteon, he lands an Iron Tail but falls to Earthquake, and while I KO Raichu, Electro and Luxray with an Earthquake apiece. This is way too easy with a move like Earthquake, and 257 attack doesn't hurt either. Since Gardenia, this challenge has been a bit too easy, so I hope the Pokemon League will offer some challenge. As for our rival fight, I don't think it will be a problem since I know I have a full set of good moves, Max Friendship Return, Stone Age, Earthquake and Soul Stance. And sure enough, it's an easy first try. He leads Staraptor, I go for Soul Stance, and he lands a close combat. Next turn, I land a Rock Slide for the KO. His Ace Empoleon comes next and falls to a single Earthquake. Heracross follows and falls to a Rock Slide. Roserade takes the stage and falls to a return. Snorlax takes her place and falls to a Rock Slide. Rapidash is last and also falls to a Rock Slide. Now for the Elite Four and Tintia. Iron is no problem since I have Stone Age. For Bertha, aside from Glasgow, which is weak to Stone Age, our team will survive Earthquakes. Flinch is no problem as long as I don't get burned. Lucian is gonna be easy, although his Alakazam is faster and he has Energy Ball and Focus Blast, but I don't think he can OKO me. Cynthia will be no problem either. Our Garchomp will outspeed, but I should be able to take an Earthquake. Enough with the predictions, let's get started. First is Aaron. He leads the Mega, I go for Soul Stance and he sets up the double team. He outspeed thanks to boost and sets up another double team as I miss Stone Age. He goes for another double team but I KO with return. Scyther is next and falls to an Earthquake. Heracross follows and falls to a Stone Age. Vespiquen takes his place and also falls to a Stone Age. His Disruption takes the stage and falls to a Stone Age. As expected, easy peasy, although it reminds me that Stone Age, albeit strong, is only 80% accurate. Butter is next, she leads White Cash, I go for Soul Stance and you land Earth Power. I can then go for a return for the KO. Hyperdome is next and forced to return as well. Golem follows and forced to Earthquake, as do a Ice Rhyperior. Glasgow is last and the Stone Age gets the OKO. No surprises there either. Flint follows. He leads Houndoom, I go for Soul Stance and he set up Sunny Day. I then KO with Stone Age. Next is Infernape and one Stone Age KOs him. Rapidash follows and falls yet to another Stone Age. His Ace Magmortar takes the stage and falls to Stone Age as well. Last is Flareon and one last Stone Age gets the KO. Perfect match with 0 damage taken. Lucian is last of the Elite 4 and I actually lose my first stance. His Alakazam is fast and has a strong energy ball, leaving me with 1 HP, which would have been enough to win if I didn't his Stone Edge. So I try again and get the win. He dismissed my, I'll go for Soul Stance and he set up a light screen. I then KO with Stone. Falls through his neck, and since I have more Breaker, I can KO with Earthquake. His Escalade follows and falls to Stone Edge. Alakazam takes his place, he lands a strong Focus Blast, but I go for Return, getting the KO. Last is Espion, which I KO with Reason. Yeah, Alakazam hurts, and I wasn't about to lose another time to a miss. Last is the champion Cynthia, and the Garchomp stands tall, thwarting me a couple of times. She can KO me with Earthquake since I have to take a move from Spiritomb while I set up. So after trying a few times thinking it might be a damage roll, I decided to change tactic and give a Sugar Berry to Rampardos. I'm allowed to use it since they are technically available at this point in the game. And I try again. She hits Spiritomb, I go for Soul Stance and he hits with a Shadow Ball. I try and go for Stone Edge but misses and he hits a Dark Pulse. On the next turn, I KO with Stone Edge. The Lucario is next and falls to Earthquake. Milotic follows and falls to a Return. Ace Garchomp takes the stage. She goes for Earthquake, although weakened by my berry, I am left with 21 HP and I go for Return, KOing. Resurrect takes her play and falls to a Return. Last is Togekiss and Stone Edge gets the KO, winning me the fight and the run. One quick side note, Stone Edge can't KO Garchomp, so me going for Return instead, fearing the Stone Edge miss, was actually a great move. So I know I wanted an easier challenge, but this was way too easy. I think that the next time I do run with a Pokemon I have over 100 base in offenses, that I will need to put a penalty of some kind. Probably limiting what moves I can use, like nothing above 80 base power or something along those lines. I was also very high levels compared to other runs, but I don't think I fought more trainers than usual, so I don't really know why. Regardless, being able to breeze through a challenge was fun and refreshing. Rampardos is way better than I thought, especially since 4 out of 8 gyms have favorable matchups. I really like the fact that he was a true glass cannon since he was unable to take more than 2 moves despite being over-leveled compared to his opponents. And now for the total points tally, he ends up at 38, which is enough to beat Vespiquen, which was at 37. By the way, I am tracking points for every challenge, and I will release a ranking once I get a few more challenges there. Hi, it's Smorgasbord over here. I'm not scripting any of this. I just wanted to say that this challenge is way too short, so I think I will avoid using great Pokemon like Rampardos, since having a challenge that's sub 20 minutes is not great for you guys, right? And even like trying to script it in a way that's interesting is challenging, right? Like, it's just set up Soul Stance, take a move, and then just perma sweep everything. So until I find a way to not screw up the Pokemon too much, since if I do use good Pokemon like Rampardos, I still want them to be able to be relevant in the ranking, right? But I do need something to make it either more challenging or more entertaining around fights. So I have a few ideas, maybe script it more like a narrative kind of playthrough, which is something I kind of want to do, but I always thought it would be better on a Nuzlocke type challenge or a Type Lock. Yeah, so I know I won't be doing any easy challenge like this again for a while. Also want to precise, if you guys have some ideas on how to make them more interesting, please let me know. However, I want to keep being able to evolve my Pokemon. Like, the first idea that came to mind at the end of the video when I was finishing up the challenge was, oh, I shouldn't have evolved Cranidos, right? He already has 120 attack stat, so he really didn't need to evolve. But I really like to evolve Pokemons. It's kind of, the unique mechanic, that makes the game great. So yeah, like I said a bit earlier, maybe something around the side of limiting the base power of moves I can get, maybe banning setup moves, right? Because I did limit myself to 1 Soul Stance every fight. It wasn't just because I didn't need that, it was a deliberate choice on my part to see if it made a difference, which, well, it didn't. So yeah, thank you for listening to me rambling for a bit. Thank you all for watching. If you still enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. Don't hesitate to leave a comment. I would really like to have your ideas on how I could spin this. Have a great day and see you in the next one.